Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Lomis Psychologist Show, the best show since sliced bread and Seinfeld and Becker. And earlier today, we were just talking about our first client who was in 10 years of debt and had to pay back a fake necklace. And now we're going to focus on our second client. So, when this second client came to me earlier today, she really made me think, because she said that she killed her husband with a leg of lamb. Like, what? Apparently it was frozen. I was like, okay, so that explains a lot. Then she told me the story before that, like, oh, I completely understand. So here's what really happened. You know how earlier we were talking about how circumstances and perceptions affect the actions of a story? That is very true. When she told me the story today, I heard the review. It instantly came to my head. She said, "We're talking about this today. We will discuss this," and it really this is going to go perfect with how the essential question and how this lady killed her husband with a leg of lamb really goes together. Well, it really goes together. It understands. So now, how do circumstances and perceptions affect the actions? So, right now, my client's husband is a cop, a police officer. And, my client doesn't work. She's at home and she cooks. And tonight, on the menu, she was cooking lamb. Lamb. Oh, I'd love me some lamb right now. Ain't that right? Her husband gets home, and he's very quiet when he walks in. He's very quiet. He's very soft. He's very, low key, because he has something on his mind he wants to get off. And he says it later during the dinner. And it was about divorce. That was the circumstance. That was going on. It was because, there was a divorce going on. They couldn't really get along. It was something that happened. Something that really happened. I mean, they didn't really mention it, but the way it was introduced, it was almost like they're getting a divorce. And then the wife, which is my client, obviously, is very distressed. Like, why is he leaving me? I don't want this to happen to me. They got this really, really big argument. And then later, it ended. So her perception was that she was, like I said before, she was distressed. And she was very angry. You know what she did? Instead of working it out, she went downstairs to the basement, opened up the freezer, grabbed a nice leg of lamb, frozen, hard as a rock. It was like a steel club equivalent. And walked back upstairs while her husband was distracted, eating his vegetables. He came up from behind and kablam! Right to the head. The leg of lamb really got him to the head. And the husband was dead. Bleeding on the floor and everything. The blood was on that lamb. There was a lamb to slaughter. And so, it's so sad. The wife, my client, really was distressed. She knew what to do after that. She's even more distressed than she was before. She's extremely stressed. She's stressed. Because she's afraid she's going to go to jail and be charged for murder. And this is a huge murder case. So my question, this is where the action comes up. This is the action. Where, the action is when she killed the husband. But now it starts regressing. So how does my client, cover up the murder? By calling the cops. Saying, "Oh my God, my husband died." And of course, how the husband's a police officer. So they kind of all knew. It was like, my husband Patrick died. Patrick's dead. Officer Patrick's dead. Officer Patrick's dead. All the police officers are very, like, confused. Like, what? Like, one of our own. We just saw him today. I was like, I know, please come over and, report the crime, because apparently this is just, I am extremely scared. I don't know what monster would do this. The cops came over my client's house. And my client was very, she was trying to act all scared, act all calm and, very stunned, even though the cops were trying to understand and trying to solve the crime. Like, what monster would do this? There really wasn't much evidence, very low evidence. Couldn't really find anything. So then the cops were kind of hungry. And that's when my client decided to cook a meal for the policeman. When she did that, she served a purpose for them. She made tea. She went before the cops came. She went to the store. She bought vegetables. She bought potatoes. She bought ingredients for lamb and tea, stuff like that. And then, when the meal was ready, the cops were chowing down. But the funny thing is that the cops said, where would the weapon be? And where the other cops said, it could be right under our noses. It could be, like, right here. Like, it could be so obvious that it's just so low-key. And, of course, the wife snickers away and then leaves. So, what exactly happened? The circumstance is that, she was getting a divorce. They were talking about, family issues. It was out of hand. And the perception was that she didn't want that to happen. She was very, under pressure. And she did form an action by killing her own husband, her own love, which really scares me. Who would do that? Oh my God, shame on them. But, people come to me for a reason, to get help. And I really helped her through this, and she'll make a full recovery. And that will be our second client. Funny, huh? Alright, so, after the break, we'll be focusing on our third client. And this is what I call the grand finale. The plot twist. I want to go off on this one because this is you wouldn't expect it. It was just out of hand. So, stay tuned. Come back after the commercials.